Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 223 of our Be a Better You Annual Challenge. This year, we're doing one thing every day to be a better version of ourselves, a better person. And if we do just one little thing a day, it's amazing how much our life changes for the better in the direction of who it is we want to be, how we want to show up, and how we want to impact the world. I say, let's all make the world a better place. Well, today we're talking about step 4 of the SOAP framework, which is P for progress. How are we going to know if the changes that we made, the action that we took yesterday, the direction we're going is the direction we want to go? Remember, we're trying to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be. We're going to move toward that. Well, sometimes we'll take actions and we'll take steps and we'll do things that actually move us backwards. Have you ever taken a step or an action that actually blew up in your face and didn't work as you had planned? Of course, we all have. So what do we do in that case? We dust ourselves off and we just take a different action. We do something else. We say, okay, oh, that didn't work. What did I learn from that? And then we move on to the next thing. But how are we going to know? How are we going to measure if we're filling that gap? How are we going to know? I like to look for feedback from sources outside of me sometimes, because I know what I'm doing inside and I know how I feel inside. Am I feeling better? Am I feeling like I'm less frustrated or more frustrated? And I will measure that weekly. I will put that in my gratitude journal and pay attention to between now and the end of the year if I'm feeling less frustrated. Because every time I don't choose frustration, I'm choosing a better reaction and a better response. So I will track that for myself personally. Maybe I'll use my drink 8 glasses of water trick I learned from my dad when I had sudden cardiac arrest. He taught me to drink more water by just taking a Post-it note. Yes, he did work at 3M for his whole career, Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. But we used the Post-it note. And I, of course, don't have one handy right by me. Note cards, all kinds of them. I usually have Post-it notes up the yin-yang by me. Anyway, I will take a Post-it note and every day, maybe for the next week, I'll just put a little hatch mark on it. Every time I'm faced with frustration, but I choose another reaction, another response. Because the action I took yesterday was to change my rules and definition around frustration. What does it take to get me frustrated? I learned that changing perspective from Tony Robbins, probably in the early 1990s. I don't think I learned that one in the 80s right off the bat from him, but definitely in the 1990s, and started practicing it. And it's one of those tools and strategies that we can use all along throughout our life and improve on, or we forget about it along the way. But when we remember, we realize how powerful a strategy it is, and then we start doing it again. So that's what I do that a lot now. For about a couple of decades in the middle there, I didn't do some of these things. I didn't work on my personal development. I was too busy raising my family and running through my life and chasing my career and chasing my businesses. And I realized that is exhausting. And so instead of chasing what we want, we just visualize and work toward what we want by taking inspired action. So our inspired action today is to come up with a way to measure and track and document, because I say, if it's worth living, it's worth documenting. And we want to know and actually prove to ourselves that we're making progress. Because sometimes we'll go through slow periods and we feel like, well, geez, this week I didn't make any progress on my handling of frustration. I got frustrated one time a day for sure, and that's too much. I don't want to be feeling frustrated. I don't want to experience frustration every day. I don't know about you, but I hope you're working on an emotion that you just want to let go of, and you'll still feel it, because we feel all the emotions at some time in our life. But you can choose not to be depressed. You can choose, and people who have depression are probably and are medicated are probably saying, "You're crazy, Sharon." That's absolutely not true. And I will tell you, is 100% true. You can choose not to be angry or mad or upset or frustrated, because frustration to me leads to anger and madness and worse emotions on the emotional guidance scale, which we are going to talk about. I don't know. I got to look at my list of what we're talking about for topics, but we're definitely going to talk about it probably for a couple of days this month, because it's such a powerful tool in helping us manage and choose how we react and respond to things in ways that make us feel better and the people around us feel better as well. All right. So what are we doing today? We are coming up with at least one way to measure and prove to ourselves and know that we're making progress on dealing with this emotion. Share in the comments below the one thing you're going to do. Like I said, I'm going to track it weekly, probably start out daily and then go to weekly, how it's working out for me, and do some learning loops in terms of, okay, this is how I handled frustration when I first felt it in this situation, but I can do better than that. Or where am I feeling frustration in my body when I feel frustrated? What are the precursors to me feeling frustrated, right? I want to keep understanding those so I can keep shortcutting the process and cutting myself off before I even ever get close to what would be frustrating. All right. Any questions? You know what to do. Just ask. Otherwise, go out and make it an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.